Ghosting hurts more than a breakup, and psychology proves it. They didn't say goodbye, and somehow that hurt more. Let's be real. If you've ever been ghosted by a friend, a date, a job, or even a delivery guy, you know it feels like emotional whiplash. One minute, you're vibing. The next, you're talking to a digital corpse who vanished like a magician without even saying, "Thanks, bye, go heal now." And you know what's wild? Ghosting doesn't just suck, it hurts more than an actual breakup. No messy tears, no closure, just you refreshing your texts, checking if your Wi-Fi's broken, and slowly spiraling into the psychological equivalent of a Netflix buffering screen. But guess what? You're not weak. You're not being dramatic. Science proves ghosting hits harder thanks to your brain's addiction to dopamine, primal fear of rejection, and that awkward thing called emotional withdrawal. Let's break it all down. And yes, we'll laugh at the pain too. Ghosting is emotionally brutal, but it's also a little ridiculous, like getting dumped by someone who forgot to finish the sentence. What exactly is ghosting? Before we start sobbing or rage texting, let's define it. Ghosting is the modern act of disappearing from someone's life like a fart in the wind. No text, no reason, no closure. It happens in friendships, dating, jobs, and even networking calls. One minute you're bonding over pizza toppings or plans, and the next, nothing. Radio silence. They turned into Casper, minus the friendly part. And the worst part? You don't even get an ending. It's a breakup without the break part, a rejection without the no, a sentence with no period. It's like being left on red, but existential. And guess who hates unfinished things? Your brain. Your brain needs closure, like it needs oxygen. Let's talk psychology. When someone ghosts you, your brain doesn't go, "Cool, they're just rude." No, it goes into full FBI mode, trying to make sense of the silence. Why? Because humans are wired for storytelling and resolution. Your mind needs to make sense of things. It wants a narrative, even a sad one. Without closure, your brain keeps the open tab running. It keeps checking, wondering, obsessing. Like when you order food and it never shows up, so now you can't decide if you're angry or just hungry. But 100 times worse, because this isn't about fries. It's about being emotionally ghosted, like a disposable character in someone else's story. This limbo, it creates anxiety. And your brain, like a toddler in a grocery store, hates waiting with no explanation. Dopamine withdrawal, the emotional crash nobody talks about. Now it gets even messier. Ghosting isn't just confusing, it's chemically painful. When you're bonding with someone, especially over time, your brain starts releasing dopamine every time you interact. Dopamine is the brain's, "Yes, give me more of that juice." It's the same chemical that fires when you eat chocolate, win at a game, or see your crush's name pop up on your screen. So when you're texting someone regularly, laughing, flirting, sending memes, your brain builds a dopamine cycle around them. You expect the hits, you wait for them, you associate them with reward, then they ghost. And just like that, boom, dopamine goes cold turkey. No warning, no weaning off. One moment, you're getting chemical hits of joy, and the next, it's emotional withdrawals. No wonder ghosting feels like a crash, because it is one. Like going from sugar high to empty in 0.5 seconds. And your brain, it doesn't take it well. Social rejection feels like actual pain, because it is. Here's the real kicker. Your brain treats social rejection like physical pain. Yep, scientists did MRI scans on people going through breakups and rejection. Their brains lit up in the same areas that process actual injuries, like getting punched or burned. That's right. Being ghosted isn't just all in your head. It's like getting emotionally slapped with an invisible hand, over and over, because you don't even know why it happened. And ghosting makes it worse. Why? Because it combines two of your brain's least favorite things. First, rejection. Second, ambiguity. Together, they form a perfect psychological cocktail for despair. Like tequila and regret, it always ends in disaster. The evolutionary freakout, ghosting and tribal panic. Let's go even deeper. Back in prehistoric times, social rejection wasn't just rude, it was lethal. If your tribe kicked you out, you didn't just feel sad, you felt dead. Because back then, being alone meant getting eaten, starving, or dying of boredom because Netflix hadn't been invented yet. So our brains evolved to treat rejection like a serious threat. And guess what ghosting triggers? That same primal panic. Your brain goes, "Wait, am I unsafe? Did I do something wrong? Am I about to get voted off the island?" Even if you're a grown adult with your apartment and snacks, your emotional brain is still stuck in tribal survival mode. And when someone ghosts you, it goes DEFCON 1. That's why ghosting doesn't just feel disrespectful, it feels dangerous, like emotional exile, and your nervous system reacts accordingly. The psychological spiral, obsessing, overthinking, overanalyzing. Let's not pretend we don't all do it. When you're ghosted, you enter the overthinking Olympics. You replay conversations, reread texts, ask friends for forensic analysis, maybe even stalk their online activity to see if they're alive, or just ignoring you like a failed Wi-Fi connection. This spiral happens because your brain is searching for resolution. But ghosting gives you nothing. So instead, your mind makes up stories. Maybe they're busy. Maybe their phone died. Maybe they were abducted by aliens who hate communication. Eventually, your brain lands on the worst possible explanation. It's me. I messed up. I'm unlovable. And now you're not just hurt, you're ashamed. That's the sneaky power of ghosting. It creates a pain vacuum, and your brain fills it with blame. Why it hurts more than a breakup. Here's the paradox. An actual breakup, even a messy one, gives you data. You know where you stand. You might cry, eat ice cream, block them on every platform, but at least it's over. Ghosting, on the other hand, is like being paused mid-conversation and then left hanging forever. No explanation, no final text, no ending. That limbo, it messes with your identity, because when someone disappears without warning, you start questioning your reality. Were they ever really into me? Was it all fake? Did I imagine it? And when the story has no end, it keeps playing in your head, over and over. That's not closure. That's torture. Ghosting in friendships, jobs, and beyond. Let's be clear, ghosting isn't just for dating apps. Ever have a friend vanish without a word? A boss who never responded after 3 rounds of interviews? A client who went quiet after promising payment? Yep, ghosting happens everywhere. And the pain is just as real because it's not about romance. It's about expectation, connection, trust. When you invest energy in someone, even professionally, and they vanish, your brain treats it like betrayal. Because it is. And your emotional withdrawal doesn't care if it was a Bumble match or a business lead. Your pain receptors light up either way. Why ghosting became a thing and why it sucks for everyone. So why is ghosting so common now? 2 reasons: avoidance culture and digital distance. We've become allergic to uncomfortable conversations. Why say, "I'm not feeling it," when you can just disappear and avoid the awkwardness? Technology gives us that exit ramp, a mute button for emotional accountability. But guess what? It's not painless. Not for them, not for you. Because ghosting feels gross on both ends. Ghosters often feel guilty, avoidant, and even anxious about being confronted later. It's not a win. It's a cop-out, and deep down, everyone knows it. The fix: how to heal from being ghosted. Okay, it's time to climb out of the pit of pain. Here's how you heal from ghosting. 1. Name it. Say it out loud. I was ghosted. It's not embarrassing. It's clarity. Naming the experience gives you back control. 2. Stop romanticizing it. Don't invent excuses. If they cared, they'd communicate. Full stop. Don't write a Disney story for someone who couldn't even type "I'm out." 3rd, dopamine detox. You're in withdrawal, so give your brain new sources of dopamine. Walk, dance, call friends, and pet a dog. Rewire your brain away from them. 4. Closure comes from you. They didn't give you an ending? Write your own. Journal it. Scream it. Text yourself a goodbye message if you have to, but reclaim the ending. 5. Don't ghost yourself. Don't disappear on your healing. Check in with yourself. Treat your pain seriously. You're not too sensitive. You're just human. Ghosting isn't about you. It's about them not knowing how to be a human. Let's say it again louder for the brain still obsessing over the red receipt. Ghosting says nothing about your worth. It says everything about their emotional immaturity. You didn't mess up. You didn't fail. You didn't become less lovable in 48 hours. You were just on the receiving end of emotional cowardice, the digital version of someone covering their eyes and pretending you vanished. That's not rejection. That's avoidance with Wi-Fi. So don't chase them. Don't try to make sense of the senseless. Stand up, close the tab, eat the snack, call the friend, and know this: the right people don't ghost, they show up. Don't ghost this channel. Hit like and subscribe. If this hits you right in the abandonment issue, same. But you're not alone. We've all been left on scene by someone with the emotional range of a toaster. Like the video, subscribe for more psychological deep dives with just the right amount of sass, and drop a comment below. What's the weirdest or most ridiculous ghosting story you've lived through? Because if we're gonna suffer, we might as well turn it into content.